Welcome everyone to this set of videos in the design phase of the building where I'm going to cover various leads. I call them leads or applications or tools that you can find online that allow you to use the programming skills, use Python or Pandas or data science in various applications in this phase of the building life cycle. The goal of these videos is not to sort of promote the use of any specific tools. It's not an advertisement for software. It's essentially just a way to give people in this course an understanding of the tools that are commonly used in the building industry by technical professionals who know how to code. And so it gives you an incentive or motivation to go down that path if you'd like. And the best way to learn how to program is really to find an application, to find a data set, to find an objective, and to use tools to do it. So in this first video, I'm going to talk about a tool called Rhino or Rhinoceros. This is a three-dimensional modeling tool that's used by a lot of architects, especially in the early phases of design. It's also used by product designers and from all different kinds of industries, including architects. And this is the best way to learn about Rhino, if you're not familiar, is through the website, rhino3d.com. You can see here that I already have the website up here. There's lots of different functions that's showing the uses of Rhino, but you can see it's basically to draw and visualize three-dimensional things. And one of the things in Rhino is a platform called Grasshopper, which if we click on the link to Grasshopper, it's going to talk about this platform or tool, this development platform in Rhino that allows people to create components for robotic control, environmental analysis, basically plugins for Rhino. There's a nice video here that you can check out if you want to learn about some of the examples. And as you scroll down, you'll notice that the Grasshopper itself manifests itself in what's called visual programming. And this is an example of a visual program that can be used. You have these different modules with links between the modules. There are dates and times and different functions that are occurring in these modules. People like architects who are learning how to code start out with visual programming very often. And Rhino, and with the combination of Rhino and Grasshopper, there's a lot of capability to create new functions and automate different processes and especially in the design phase of a building. So this is a very simple example of the block diagrams in this that can be used in Grasshopper. And a lot of tools are compatible with Grasshopper, actually built in Grasshopper. And I'll talk a little bit about some of these in a few upcoming videos as well. There's components, basically a library of components for visual programming in Grasshopper that you can use right off the bat. There are solvers and physics engines. You can connect these different modules in different ways for multi-threading or parallel computing. And then there is a library called GH-Python or Grasshopper Python that allows you to create your own modules for the visual programming environment of Grasshopper within Rhino. And inside of these custom modules, you're basically writing Python script. So you can easily create customized functions and processes that allow you to interact with geometry in Rhino and Grasshopper, to create new geometry, to automate different processes, and basically do different types of data science in that three-dimensional environment. So with that, this is an overview guide of Rhino.Python, which is something that you can use within Rhino and Grasshopper. This is a guide that goes through the process of what is Python, what versions, how can you use it, how do you script things, and starts from scratch. I mean, basically this whole edX course is designed to get you started with some of these things in the same way. And I encourage you, if you are interested in Rhino, if you used it before, this is a lot of these resources are a great way to get further into that and to learn how to as you continue to learn Python and then Pandas, how those can be used in the Rhino environment. Last, I want to show a kind of directory of Rhino used in architecture, Rhino used in the building industry. And this is a website that has a lot of links that talk about the use of Rhino. What are the typical workflows? Why do people use it? What are some of the projects done? There's structure. There's a translation between building information modeling and Rhino. There's a lot of structural software that's interoperable with Rhino. Optimization, machine learning, computational design, daylight analysis. There's tutorials related to a platform called Ladybug Tools or Honeybee Tools, and all kinds of things. So there's tons of resources out there. And the purpose of this video is not to go into depth in any of these things. In fact, you can take an entire course on some of these topics on edX. But this is really just to get you thinking about how you can use data science and programming for architecture and for the built environment.